Hey everyone, 1 2 3 1 2 3 mic test. Seems to be working fine. This is a very unusual time frame for me to be streaming, but I am still on holiday, so I have some time. Let me just also light up my my now live lamp, which you cannot see. But yeah, yesterday evening I have also streamed and I have started dabbling with some Golang programming, which turned out to be quite weird, mainly because Linux and ArchLinux open software, free software, non-free software shenanigans, which I might go into at least in the beginning bit. But after that is figured out, I think we can start and try this vibe coding thing. To be honest, I am not a programmer. I am a system and network administrator, so my programming knowledge is it's not bad. It's just that, after some time in the IT, you do realize that if somebody that has 20, 25-year-olds writes in their CV that they know C++, they don't know C++. It's that kind of thing. So I tend to never say that I know a programming language, because I do know that I for certain do not know a programming language. Okay, let's switch to the main view. Okay, I need to fix some things. The benefits of the ultra-wide monitor. Okay, as you can see, I have also added some sticky notes app to my Linux setup with some to-do. If you have any ideas, or I might just pop some ideas, so then I will write them down here, because those are things I would like to do, either on stream or maybe in the form of YouTube video. Definitely more benchmarking for Linux and Linux games. Definitely secure boot, but that will be 99% YouTube video. Code OSS with Copilot. So this is something that came up yesterday. K-Wallet, Unzip, Dolphin Bind for Firefox. Those are some utilities that would be nice to have on this KDE setup. Steam Proton for all the games. I think this is a setting you set globally for your account in the Steam app, not necessarily for the device. I think I have forgotten to mention that in my Linux for Gaming tutorial video. And heroic add track. So if you are wondering about that, basically yesterday, and I can check it today, I can give it a go and check. Will I have this pop up? Okay, it doesn't seem like I am getting this message now. Basically, yesterday when I opened a GOG store via Heroic, I got this pop-up saying that you are running ad blocker in your network. Please disable it, because that way we cannot make money. And that was very suspicious and very, I want to say, lights started flashing in my head. Basically because, first of all, what does that mean? Second of all, does Heroic collect my data, username, my password? Is privacy-centered application. So why would they need to have some ad whatever running in their app, even if it is to earn some buck on the side, without explicitly telling me or just stating in their FAQ that this is a privacy-centered? And yes, I am running just a simple Pi-hole, so I do have some ad blocking on the DNS level in my network, but that was hella suspicious to me. And it I would say basically it requires a bit more investigating. Sadly, I didn't do that on stream. I tried to play some games off the stream, So I don't have that recorded, but still. Very weird. I would assume that they do the thing that the Honey was doing with the last click attribution. Maybe that's their way of trying to get some money from that, but still very weird. Okay, so let's start with the Golang programming, right? So basically, what I found out yesterday is that, and actually this might be a good idea to have this browser window. Okay, ArchLinux code, Visual Studio Code, right? Those are two completely separate things. Code OSS and Visual Studio Code. Like completely two separate things. Mainly because this one is only using open source code, and this one is using proprietary Microsoft code. The problem is that if you are using this one, the official one, all of the stuff you might think you'd need, or like the marketplace and stuff, just works, right? If you are using this, well, not everything is working basically. And I mean, they only support Debian and RPM, so in this case, I guess we have to resolve to R. But basically, this also means that if you fire up Visual Studio Code on your, I don't know, Mac OS or Windows or whatever, you get Claude Open AI, the Claude AI working from the get-go. If you do it from the open source version, you need to make some very weird changes to the settings. And from the ones I found out, they did not work. So I am going to bite the bullet today, and I am just going to uninstall the code, and I will install the open source, the closed sourced Microsoft version. And before you ask, the Flatpaks have a whole other issue, because yes, there is a Flatpak. There is a Flatpak with Visual Studio Code, the proprietary version, but because it's sandboxed in a Flatpak, it cannot necessarily easily interact with your Golang interpreter or compiler in the system. And you need to make some additional configuration, which I can't be bothered to do. So first of all, pacman -r code. And once again, if we only had that, but no, I always need to Google that. A little darker. I tried to use VS Code years ago, and 6 months later they stopped my access, losing one hell of a lot of work. That ain't gonna happen again. What do you mean? I'm just using it as a text editor. To be honest, I'm most often code in Vim because I don't do large projects. I am just interested in the easy AI access, because as seen on yesterday's live stream, that was pretty cool if you just want to have proof of concept fairly fast. In KDE, I use Kate. Can Kate do Claude AI very easily? That is the problem. Oh yeah, ArchLinux auto remove orphans. This, by the way, is the most retarded thing ever. This should be like a single pacman auto remove or what, or something. Repos. Oh. And remember, kids, whenever using or, at least try to read this. Like, at least give it a glance. It installs some glibc. That's a hell of a, like, I wonder if you can actually have a Linux system without glibc. I think you can. You can substitute it with something else. Okay. Source. Okay. Okay. So doesn't seem too malicious. Do I even have the make package? Pacman. Gonna sit back and watch the magic. You should have watched yesterday when the magic was basically gone. Like, so many things we've learned yesterday. Like, you know, it's so irritating that I would say, you know, on Windows or Mac OS, this is the default option, the option that everybody uses and just works. On Linux, this is the default option, the option that kinda works, unless you want to delve deeper into the features. A debug edit. Could not resolve all of the dependencies. Else of. What do you mean? Wow. Wow, I don't have else of? Required by... Okay. Wow. Okay. Like, else of not being included in the base ArchLinux package is weird. Like, else of basically shows you all of the file descriptors open in your system. So it's a pretty amazing command. You can see what process has what file opened in your system, but it also allows you to see Unix sockets. I think also like the TCP connections also can also be looked up with elseof. I think I'm not 100% sure. But I think you can also do that with elseof. So it's a pretty amazing command. Okay, make package -i. Yes, please. 433 megs. Jeez. There it fucking is. Like, you would not believe the lengths I've tried to go through yesterday to have this little fella on the right. Okay, open folder, repositories, go login. Okay, so a little bit of intro to what I'm actually... do you want to install recommended Go extension? Oh yeah, because this is a completely fresh setup. So while it installs, a quick refresher as to what I'm trying to actually code. So, is it installed? it's installed. Can I see all of the lookups? I can. So typically, when you log on via SSH to your, let's say, Linux server, this is what's being launched, like your user shell, in this case bash. So what if we wrote a program that instead of, like, we will put it here instead of bash, that program will read what user is trying to log in. So in this case, let's say it's my user DC Techie, and then it will create and launch a VM on Proxmox only for us and for our session, and it will redirect input and output into that VM, and after we have logged out, it will either power off or suspend that VM. The extension to that case would be, let's say we have a Kubernetes cluster and we also like have this program, and we can decide, let's say with an argument or a setting, that instead of VM, we want to have our Kubernetes cluster to start a container for us and redirect us there. Wouldn't that be cool? That would be basically your own private VPS being managed and distributed from a single SSH server endpoint. So I think it's pretty cool idea. And the funny thing is, Microsoft already has this. In Microsoft Server, if you go into servers, roles and features, and you install the remote desktop and whatever, you already can have it configured basically with a few clicks, where every user that is trying to log on to RDP, to Remote Desktop Protocol, has their own dedicated Windows VM booted just for them. So they are not sharing resources with or basically an operating system with other users. They can have their own home directory imported as a roaming profile, etc., etc. So I know I am a Linux administrator, but I have to say Windows is once again leagues ahead. Like, I know this can be done on Linux, but on Linux it has to be done by a lot of manual configuration, right? On Windows it's just like click here, click here, click here, done, which I think is pretty sweet. Okay, can I have... I would also like to have the bottom window with a terminal open. Open view. Terminal. Yay! So as you can see, this is something I have done yesterday. My program can correctly recognize what user and what user ID is being run as, in this case DC Techie and user ID 1000. And it also can connect to my Proxmox cluster, which is basically my home lab right behind me. So this is why we have the 9.0 instead of the 7.4 that was here. And also yesterday we have decided to use this this library for SDK. Doesn't RDP in Windows Server require license per seat? I will, you know what? It was like that 10 years ago. Now it's even worse because you need 2 licenses. You need a CAL license, basically to have a user in the Active Directory. And then you need to have additional RDP license. They are called RDP calls to allow that user to log in via remote desktop. So you need to buy 2 separate licenses in order to allow people to log on via RDP. But I still have to say that when it comes to remote desktop services, it costs a shitload of money, but Microsoft knows it has little to no competition in that regard. Like, you can be building Linux desktops based on XRDP server or whatever. It's nowhere close the Microsoft experience. Okay, so in our code we have insecure HTTP client because my Proxmox does not have validated SSL certificate. Everything is done via API token authentication, so no user password, just tokens, and they have proper permissions. And then from what I see, we configure a client. So basically this will act as our connection to the Proxmox cluster. Just so you know, I mean this. So we are basically connecting to this. I haven't used RDP for 10 years. VNC took the backseat once I installed RasDex server. Yeah, I mean, VNC is pretty terrible. The main difference between VNC and, I mean, RasDesk, all of that solutions are okay, fine. That's interesting that you mentioned it, because VNC sucks, because every frame update in VNC is basically the whole screen, and I think it's basically JPEG compressed being sent to you, right? RDP can send you only a fragment of a screen that has updated when it comes to displaying something, which I think is pretty nifty, and it's a reason why you cannot just use VNC to play remotely, even in your home network. It's a very inefficient protocol. It is simple, it is that simple. For some cases, it's enough. But it's very heavy on the latency and on the network traffic. Okay, so client, what else can you do? Because I would love to create a VM with you, but for that I think I will need to create a cloud init image in Proxmox. So, how did it work? Proxmox cloud init. It sounds so British. Cloud init is the I mean, I have done it, but I don't remember the exact steps. Is the de facto multi-distribution package that handles early initialization? Yes, yes, yes. Many Linux distributions provide ready-to-use cloud init images, mostly designed for OpenStack. Oh boy, OpenStack. These images will also work with Proxmox VE. While it may seem convenient to get such ready-to-use images, we usually recommend to prepare the images by yourself. The advantage is that you will know exactly what you have installed, and this helps you later to easily customize the image for your needs. Once you have created such cloud init image, we recommend to convert it into a VM template. From a VM template, you can quickly create linked clones. So this is a fast method to roll out new VM instances. You just need to configure the network and maybe the SSH keys before you start the new VM. We recommend using SSH key-based authentication to log on to the VMs provisioned. It is also possible to set a password, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Proxmox VE generates an ISO image to pass the cloud init data into the VM. For that purpose, all cloud init VMs need to have an assigned CD-ROM drive. Usually a serial console should be added and used as a display. Many cloud init images rely on this. It's a requirement for OpenStack. However, the other images might have problem with this configuration. Switch back to the default display configuration if using a serial console doesn't work. Okay, I have only thought about this now, but I should probably open and first of all give attribution, but second of all get more ideas to the article where I basically got this idea from. but we can do that later. Mm, create, okay, one other, like, do we want to vibe code this the whole way, or do we actually want to use Brain? Because I am very tempted to use Brain. And by that I mean, should I just read more docs about this, or should I just query the AI all the way through? That is the question. This project relies on Mage, unit testing, integration testing. I would love some more examples, and I think this is a phrase I have uttered many times yesterday. See the self-generated docs. This is almost like a AI generated, right? Create. Okay, so maybe let's go the AI route. How to... We are back here. How to create a VM using for Golang. Oh yeah, and I need to log in, so let me do just that. I was already signed in. Nice. I wonder when I will hit the point where I will just basically have to whip out my credit card and pay for this. Okay, so it seems like it has already like read my code, so it's like suggesting I input something into existing code structure. Client, okay, get the node. Replace Proxmox node with your node's name. Okay. I think I get it. So, in my case, it would be HP Flex, because this node is called HP Flex, I think. By the way, why is this not just hiding? This sucks. Is this like Microsoft patented or something? I need to input HP Flex. And then I need to define a VM configuration. Okay. VM ID, maybe not 100. That, first of all, is, I'm pretty sure, taken, but I also want to have this starting from 300. Test VM memory. Let's give it a little bit less memory. Create the VM. And VM creation started. Optionally wait for the task to finish. I think this will be pretty good for the very beginning. Right? Create QEMU-VM. Okay, so it doesn't have that method. This is a very common and irritating thing for me, where the AI basically hallucinates methods. And this looks great, but this is like, this part is completely made up. Like, I wish there was such a method. Yeah, declare the method. No. Okay, what did it do? You should replace the call to the undefined with the correct method for creating a, which is likely uh, undefined. Okay, so it completely doesn't know what it's talking about. But this is where we, I guess, have to use our brains. Proxmox node. So we go back here. Type node. Mm. Functions. Types. Index. Interesting. So there's nothing to auto create. Firewall rules. Okay, so that's definitely not that. Okay, Cloud Init takes 4 YAML docs as a string and makes an ISO. Okay, understandable. Uploads it to the data store as VMID user data. Yes, yes, yes. By the way, I am just brushing over that, but if you want a bit more in-depth explanation about what is the Cloud Init, it just so happens I actually was configuring a classroom for my university using Cloud Init, and I basically explained a lot of stuff. So if you're interested, uh, go check it out. Basically all of this classroom, right? I only opened those laptops, started them, and the Linux and everything installed automatically. So this is why I am basically brushing over this. This is not how, but yeah, if you're interested, you can go and check that out. This is not how Proxmox expect a user to do Cloud Init, which can be found here. What do you mean not expect? If you want to use Proxmox implementation, you need to use the Cloud Init APIs. Interesting. They do say like to mount the CD-ROM drive. So what do you mean they are not expecting it being done this way? Weird. Okay, so replace Proxmox node, set unique. You can add more options. Okay, let's see where it will take me. Nowhere. Copy. Obviously, this does not exist. Sorry. This is completely hallucinated and made up. VM config. This will probably return. Yes, no explanation. Yes, this will return VMs, and this will return a virtual machine. Mm. Okay, maybe let's tell it that if you are correct, you should use the qemu create. Really? I don't think so. Once again, like, how do people actually code with this stuff? Like, how are you supposed to debug this unless you have at least an ounce of, reasoning as to how to tackle this? Like, are they just beating their heads to a wall until it works? Okay, so maybe let's attack this from the other side because we have. Oh, wait, what? So this also is dreamed up. Interesting. Yesterday we didn't have those sorts of problems. It's not QEMU, it's virtual machine config. Am I right? Okay, so where is this being used? Yeah, into a lot of places. Merge disks, merge. Virtual machine. Wow, it is so difficult to actually have this just create you a VM. Cloud and it takes your YAM. Okay, so I think this is the only way to create. Mm. Which language are you using? I'm using Golang. Basically Go. and I am trying to vibe code, but I have to say, like, AI is pretty terrible. What the fuck? Okay. This works. Cloud init enabled template. Okay, this is something I am at least semi-familiar with. Clone started, cloud init options. And start the VM. But okay, but they basically expect us to already have a ready template, right? So there should be like a VM here with a large ID that would be a ready template to be cloned. Preparing the cloud init templates. Okay, so this is this is exactly the thing we need to have created, like beforehand. So we can try doing that. Do I want Ubuntu? No. Let's go with Debian. What's the latest? I think Trixie. Oh my gosh. QCO. AMD 64. No, actually, copy the download link. How long would one need to learn Go? It's a pretty simple language to learn since it does not have object-oriented programming. But then again, I am not a programmer. Like, I am just a system and network administrator. I just use Go because I like it because it gives you I would say decent balance between being an easy language, an efficient language, and being cross-platform compatible because it's basically compiling to a single binary. It's definitely way more performant than Python. It is very easy to read and learn, especially if you have at least some C background. And yeah. Ale będziesz gadać? Dobra. Yeah, basically I'm working with my girlfriend from home, so you might be hearing a little bit of her Zoom call, but very, very briefly. Don't get distracted by women. Linux is calling. Yeah, going back, I need to create this Linux template on Proxmox. Where can I? Okay, I can download that to my IC box. This can serve us nicely. I mean, now that I've thought about it, I mean, I was thinking about it sometimes, but it's funny how learning any programming language is a bit dependent on having a strong basics in C or C++. You know what, guys? Let me mute for a little bit, and I will just enjoy me trying to configure the template. Like, once again, half of those methods just don't exist. And I'm back. We can close this terrible launch music. Okay. I mean, this is what I mean by, people are always frightened by AI replacing their jobs, but if you are like charting an unknown territory or very unpopular territory as I am now, you can be fairly safe because AI is definitely stupid in this one. Even if you tell it to use a certain API or SDK, it doesn't know what to do. Like this doesn't exist, this doesn't exist. Like this is not how it works. And I get it, it's not easy. I myself am not sure how to do this. But AI should help me and not basically create even more problems for myself. Oh, now that is interesting. VM ID. Is this some sort of pointer thing again? Oh yeah, those don't seem to be existing. Oh, virtual machine option. Okay. Jeez, okay, enough. Once again, it's hallucinating a shitload of stuff. Oh, so... Okay, I know what this is. Nodes, node, QEMU, VMID, config. Okay, name. So those are the settings. Yeah, value interface. Oh, I get it. Yes, so we need options. Jesus, I would really like if tab was basically just doing this. Wow, those auto completions are terrible. Options, sorry, not configs. And once again, like, this has no idea. A key value per use to modify. This is an array of those, so yeah, obviously it's undefined. Because this is not how this works. God damn it. You know what this requires. Like, the AI should be helping, not throwing logs under my legs. Oh, this. I think this might be it. No, it's not that smart. No, obviously not. I wonder if it'll understand me because I don't think even I understand this question. But I think it understood me pretty well. Oh my god, this is terrible. Oh boy. I'm not sure if you're seeing this. Okay, okay. Uh, should I? No. What does it want here? Missing comma. I don't know. I mean, the worst thing is that I know I know what it expects. Like I kind of understand the problem. I don't know how to solve it. Undefined. Hmm. Okay. Or am I just putting it in the wrong place? Okay, let's do it the idiot way. This is where my noob side, when it comes to this, fully shows. Options. Okay, so maybe let's actually try and read what is the three dots operator. Greeting who dot string, greeting nobody, hello. Within greeting, who will have the value null in the first call and string in the second. In greeting, who will have the value null in the first call and string array in second, or like an array of strings. And the final argument is assignable to a slice type and it's followed by its passed unchanged as a value. In this case, no new slice is created. So what? Like this? Oh my god. So basically this unrolls this array into like a list of single objects. Oh my god. Okay, what does this return? This return task and error. What the hell? Okay, let's just check this out. Hey, it works. Wow. This is like an insane level of just being very poorly explained without any examples. Like, the AI will not help you here at all. I would say the AI will only hinder your progress. Oh, this is not even the proper... Yeah. And here we need cloud. Cloud init. Cloud init takes 4 YAML docs as string and makes an ISO, uploads it to the data store as VMID user data ISO, and will mount it as a CD-ROM to be used with no cloud init. Okay, first things first. Mm. The next, okay, because I think I've only done those. The next step is to configure a CD-ROM drive. Oh, because this is not a template yet. Okay. So this is not a template, which means I have haphazardly jumped into it. Add cloud init CD-ROM drive. But this is not a CD-ROM drive. Jeez. Like, the idea is very simple, but everybody has a different imagination. Like, a different vision about it. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I think this is where the vibe coding has ended. Like, the vibe coding has ended like half an hour ago, whenever we actually started and wanted to do something specific. Okay, I guess I know what this is doing. Type virtual machine. Okay. I have to say, this is so weird. Like, really, I would love to see more examples because this is so just convoluted. Like, you are not only reading the docs, you need to basically rediscover whatever the authors of this have had in mind when they were writing this, and that kind of sucks. So, new virtual machine, and this will return me a Proxmox task or whatever, okay. But basically, I will have my, let's just call this VM ID, just to have it as a variable. Yeah, sure. Now, this will return. Okay. I think we had some logic to check tasks. Okay, I would rather do this. Yes, but it obviously doesn't work because this is a dumb AI suggestion. Okay. Mm. This is a good question. How can I wait in Golang for a task to complete? For example, this task. And after it's done, okay. No. I mean, yes. Okay. Yep. Okay, now we have an error because as such an ID already exists. So I have to say it pretty quickly created that VM. But that is a very empty VM. Okay, give me a quick second. I need to go for a quick bio break. Be right back. O, sorry. Miałem wyciszone, bo na chwilę odszedłem, jak miałem be right back. Nie, wszystko ci działa. Okej. Okej, to zwraca. Jesteśmy na etapie odkrywania, jak bardzo absolutnie chujowe jest AI do kodowania czegoś, co nie jest wybitnie mainstreamowe. Vibe coding kolejnego Terraforma. Nie. Wymyśliłem sobie coś takiego, w sensie zainspirowałem się takim artykułem, który gdzieś znalazłem, gdzie jak logujesz się po SSH, to... Czekaj, tu będę miał chyba... Weźmy cat. To piszesz sobie taki program, który podstawiasz zamiast swojego shella, czyli tu na przykład zamiast basha, i ten program spinuje dla ciebie twoją własną jedną, jedyną VM-kę na Proxmoxie albo kontener w klastrze Kubernetesa i przekierowuje cię do niej. Czy zrobi to przez jakiś serial czy SSH, that's not important, ale chodzi o to, że ty się nie logujesz na maszynę wirtualną, ty się logujesz do swojego unikatowego zasobu, który jak jest kontenerem, no to tam zdechnie, jak jest VM-ką, no to możesz go zasuspendować, zahibernować, wyłączyć cokolwiek. Natomiast pomysł jest bardzo fajny sam w sobie. I pomyślałem, że warto coś takiego sobie no, dla beki zaimplementować. No ogólnie rozbija się to w tej chwili o ścianę po prostu SDK. Tak, w sensie SDK Proxmoxa albo SDK, no Kubernetesa jeszcze nawet nie zacząłem, nie? Natomiast no, rozbija się to może o tyle o ścianę tego, że te wszystkie Cloud AI czy te inne narzędzia do vibe codingu nie mają pojęcia o takich rzeczach. One sobie wyśniwają, wymyślają te metody. Ta metoda nie istnieje. Ta metoda nie istnieje. Wiesz, i jakby no nie jest dla mnie pierwszyzna, no bo umówmy się, że w pracy głównie mam problemy, których no AI nie rozwiązuje, ale no za każdym razem ja jeszcze naprawdę nie trafiłem na... Znaczy ilość problemów, które AI mi rozwiązało, że mi napisało kod i on w miarę działał z jakimiś tam minimalnymi poprawkami versus że kompletnie to nie działa i kończy się to tym, że i tak musisz czytać te dokumentacje i się z tego doktoryzować, no to jest taki, nie wiem, 90% nie pomogło, 10% pomogło, tak? Natomiast ogólnie jako takie narzędzie, które dosłownie ten kod generuje i może ci wstawić, no to wiesz, nie będzie długo, nie będzie długo to wstawiać. Widzisz na SSH wtedy? No właśnie nie. Inaczej. Możesz zrobić, że to wstaje tak. Nie? Znaczy zależy. No, kontener na pewno wstanie szybciej niż VM-ka, ale umówmy się, że to są sekundy. Możesz dopisać do tego progress bar. Czyli ten user na przykład wie, że hej, uruchamiam ci zasób. Nawet jeżeli to jest tak szybkie, że w sumie możesz to olać. Także i dopiero na sam koniec, jak to wstaje, robisz w tym programie redirect std ina i std outa w jakiś tam sposób. Czy ja wiem? Powiedziałbym, że poniżej 5 sekund to jest na zasadzie, jak się łączysz po SSH, że coś tam się dzieje pod spodem, nie? Natomiast to może być szybciej. A jak już potem dostaniesz tego shella czy ten zasób, no to spoko działa. Ogólnie ludzie wymyślają sobie jakieś ultra szybkie. No zobacz, na przykład tutaj. Tutaj mam kod, który tworzy VM-kę, nie? Na Proxmoxie. Tej VM-ki w tej chwili nie ma, tej 301. To nie jest żaden template. jak wykonasz ten kod, który tworzy tą wiemkę, to on ją zrobi poniżej sekundy. To czekanie nawet się nie zdąży wydarzyć. To jest bardziej taki case na zasadzie coś tam się na sieci zaczknęło. A jakiś typ znalazł podatność do OpenSSL-a, bo się ładowało pół sekundy za długo. To nie było z SSL-em, to było z XZ-em do kompresji. Jakiś kompletny autysta stwierdził, że jemu jakieś testy się wykonują, nie wiem, pół sekundy za dużo i się okazało, że ktoś bardzo długo pracował, żeby sobie wyrobić reputację, żeby móc komitować do repa tej biblioteki kompresującej jakiś malicious code. Niesamowite. Po prostu autyzm ratuje nas każdego dnia. Dobra, bo ja nie chcę tworzyć VM-ki, ja chcę właśnie ją skopiować z template'a, bo to co teraz robię, to ja ją po prostu tworzę od nowa tym kodem, a ja bym chciał ją po prostu skopiować z template'a, czyli z tego i zrobić Cloud Inita. Kontekst, ja tak szczerze nadal nie mam pojęcia, co robią te konteksty. Ja w ogóle nie jestem programistą, tak? Clone, parametry, Virtual Machine Clone Options. Mm. Tylko no te podpowiadaczki, maybe I'll switch to English if you don't mind, because I do have like mixed audience. Those like suggestions you see here are completely invalid. Like they are 99% wrong. This complete trash. Because as you can see, this struct has a very well defined thing. Like name, full. Like, okay, actually this time it was kind of right, but still. Like here, when I was writing this, complete nonsense. Comes in handy when you have to do some quick changes like replace var name in 40 places. Yeah, like search, replace, whatever. But still. Oh yeah, this should be actually here. Like, and this is what I'm writing is a complete proof of concept. So, like, I am fine with this being completely trash. I am not like pirate software. You're not working for Blizzard. No, but fun fact, I have worked for a guy who worked in Blizzard. It's like chłopaki nie płaczą. Byłeś w Ameryce? Nie. No widzisz, a ja znam kogoś, kto był. Okej. What is it wrong again? Like new ID. Yeah, oh yeah, obviously. It's wrong about so many things, like full clone, like it's hallucinating almost half of the API. Like it's actually also weird. Like full is like unsigned integer 8 instead of boolean. Interesting. This VM boots fast under a second, but it's in Singapore and needs to download 400k files from API mirror located in Poland. You would not believe how valid this example is, because ICM I think, used to have an InfiniBand connection between Poland and Singapore. It's not an example, yeah. Okay, just declared and not used. So here with clone options. Yeah, it wants a pointer too. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, our Polish mirrors are not bad. Like, especially the IC. Okay, they are bad. The ICM one is pretty amazing. Is what I learned over the course of the last few years. Okay, so do I have everything? Pool, snap names, storage, target, bandwidth limit, description, format, full name, pool. It will probably pick some defaults. I mean, storage. Let's also give it like a storage. SSD1. It's surprisingly correct about this one. And then we can clone and clone options. So from our template VM, we are telling it to be cloned to this VM. Okay. And clone returns new ID, task, and error. So storage rhymes with orange. Like, I remember that the Eminem like proved that. I think he was being told that nothing rhymes with orange, and then he basically came up with something on a whim. Storage rhymes with orange. Actually, yeah. We can blow the USA rap scene with that. New ID, task, error. Okay, and I can delete this one, even though this is pretty much... I want to say this is a forbidden knowledge. Sadly, in Golang, there is no mass comment. I really want to have this, like, saved. They already shut down their gov. Give them a break. Oh man, you know what? I am so happy that I have completed my US visa this year before the summer. Because I am going to the USA in the November for the supercomputing conference, and if I had started the visa process now, I would be so fucked. But thankfully, that is well behind me. I am wondering, okay, new ID. I would say this is a trash. This is garbage. So actually I want task. I want to also do the traditional if error, not nil. Why full VM? LXC, truth, something simpler. Okay, so yes, fully valid question. So basically LXC is something I really don't like on Proxmox. Like, those containers are very, very heavy containers. It's basically a whole, it's like you would, you know, bootstrapped a whole system with everything. So I don't really find them that appealing. VMs give you better separation. So in terms of security, it's always better to use a VM. As for maybe generalizing the answer, I intend for this solution to be able to have configurable backends. So let's say you want a VM, have a VM. You want a Kubernetes or whatever container, have a container, right? But LXC is basically something I'm kind of allergic to. I have started with LXCs, I have done them in the past, and the problem with LXCs is also that, you know, in VM, you typically and most often by default use block storage that you attach to a VM. With LXC, you can do yourself an incredible harm by just using raw files in a file system, basically a directory full of files. And the problem you encounter with you can encounter with LXC, especially if you have more than, I don't know, 3 containers, is that at some point in your base systems, you have so many file descriptors open, you need to go around and change and tweak the sysconfig settings. Which, I mean, it's not a big deal, but you know, why even go through a pain like this? Okay, this should clone the VM, this should wait, and after that is being done, we should have cloned successfully. I guess we can go and try it out. Am I right? VM clone successfully. My man, that was shorter than a second, so I would assume that booting this VM will take longer. I still need to... No cloud init drive found. This still needs a cloud init, let's say leg. My autism thinks this is too long still. So this is not ready, but this is at least using our cloud init image of Debian. And it already has like a hard drive, hard disk. Okay. Okay, so I think I have... Okay, let's delete this. Like, purge the heretics. And should I add like cloud init drive? This is always like, Proxmox has to basically overcomplicate these things. If I were to do everything from the Golang SDK, cloud init takes 4. Yes, I know. Okay, so after cloning, we need to do the cloud init part. So we need to get that VM. Oh my god. After it's been cloned, so we need to get that VM. Like, too many magic numbers, yeah. Like, pirate software all the way. Or maybe let's go traditionally my VM. Let's get that VM. Let's go with my VM cloud init. And yeah, now we need to basically give it 3 YAML files: device, user data, metadata. This can be empty, this can be empty. This shouldn't be empty, the device. IDE2. User data, metadata, like what? Okay, so those are all strings. Perfect, I think. So we can have user. Now this can be empty, this can be empty, and network. I think network config also can be empty if this will be doing a complete ISO that will be mounted. Now, as for user, I have this repository from my video on YouTube channel, auto install and user data. And I know it can be done simpler. I know it can be done more easily. Auto install version. But now, so ideally what I want to do is to have new file, generate code. Please don't. Now let me just copy the whole contents. And this we can remove. This can stay. This can also we can completely purge. Apt can stay. Packages, no, please don't install those. Get rid of that. Yeah, and we can Ubuntu auto install. We can use that reference because I do remember. Yes, identity. Wow, I wonder where did it get that from? Like, this has to be some sort of trash hash. Generate. I don't care. I can do this online. Consent, whatever. No. Install Vim, make them auto open random file right after they connect. Let's see who can exit Vim. I would become the most hated person in all of the institution. I want the hash. And I can never remember. Oh, you know what? Actually, shadow. Ask AI. Jeez. I think I think I asked it to decode base 64. And it kinda almost like done it to a certain point. Like, I think it was DeepSeek, one of the medium-sized models. Yep, starts with a dollar sign and ends with 2. Okay. So now, ideally, I need to load this file into Go and then pass it to that and convert it to a string. And I think this is one task the AI should be able to handle. Hmm. Expected one expression. Cloud init. Okay. Expected statement. Oh. Okay. I mean, it should return an error, right? Or is it returning more? Yeah, okay. So error was basically previously initialized, so it didn't want to reinitialize a variable. Start. Okay, can I do that? Okay. You know what? Let's be cautious with that for now. And let's run this little thing. Oh, error. Got timeout. Can't lock file. VM clone successfully, and I think this is where it all began to crash. Yes, even though the task was done, not everything might have been done. So, I mean, since this is a proof of concept, Golang, how to wait for 5 seconds in Golang. Time, sleep, 5 time, second. And now, like this requires the heaviest of solutions. Yeah, it's still locked, you see? So this is probably why this bounced. And it's still... No, it's not... Oh, it even gave me a tag. How lovely. Give me 10 seconds. Where did the tag come from? Yeah, it basically has like another task of configuring. So container config user. Like I would like to have some sort of way of checking whether the VM is locked or not. But for now, let's just I would say let's be safe. Let's just give it 15 seconds. Oh, and now parameter verification failed. Boot invalid format and boot legacy value does not match the regex pattern. 89 here. So basically this. It is not happy about something here. But what is the device? It's IDE 2. Or should I make a dedicated cloud init device, even though I have no idea how that works, to be honest. You see cloud init drive. Yeah, okay, so I think that cloud init... Oh, shit. Wait, what? Oh, boy. Okay, let's run it. Yeah, it might be having the... okay, we were too close. So first of all, hardware. This needs to go. Options. Boot order. This is disabled. Okay, so how to change the boot order? I mean, if it were Ubuntu, then not necessarily a problem. Just have a PXE and auto install. Why did this start appearing? I have no idea. Uh, okay, options, boot order. Let's cheat this a little bit. Okay. Okay, so this doesn't work. What do you mean no cloud init drive found? This is the cloud init drive. Yeah. But this is what we want basically. I need to dig out my Terraform examples where I basically have kind of, I think, gotten it to work. And I think this is a very, very good, not necessarily a stopping point, but I need to take a break. I need to prepare dinner. I need to get some food in the system. But yeah, this shit sucks. And overall, this is fun. And, you know, you will not escape from reading this as a developer. Okay. Thank you. I might stream later again today. So if you are not subscribed, subscribe, whatever, hit the notification. I won't make you do that, but if you want to drop by any other time, then sure. Okay. See you hopefully later. Cheers.